Hey everyone, so it's time for another tutorial again, and today I've actually hit on a creative eye look palette. So I think I was talking about this in my last video as well. There's this app that you can get on your phone. It's called iArt, and remember I did that like red eyebrow last time. Anyway, today we're going to be trying to recreate this one here. And to do that, we're going to be using the iHeart Revolution Turkish Delight palette. I love this palette because it smells like rose water, like Turkish Delight. So this is the color profile. So to replicate it, I think we're going to use mainly this brown and this orange here. And then we're going to put a few other things on because I think, as you might have noticed, there's like that white thing there, which I'm going to use like a little pearl and some bits of glitter to like replicate those little dots there. So what we're going to do straight away is we're going to start taping up. But first, before I get into that, I just wanted to let everyone know that today is Amazebox Day. Amazebox is a mystery box that has skincare and makeup in it. It retails for $70 and free shipping. It is available on my website. It's only available until the 10th of this month. So if you would like to grab one before it ends, drop me a comment under this video and I can help you out with the link. So anyway, that's that. I've got my bits of tape here. In case you didn't know, I usually use craft tape because it's a little bit less porous, and the products don't actually seep through it or underneath it very much. So I'm just angling it up towards my eyebrow. And this bit doesn't want to come off. Okay, so that we're going to get that that clean line at the side there, like we usually like. Now this one today, I think I'm going to start it a little bit differently because from what I could see in the photo, like you can see the darker colour through the crease there and then the lighter colours underneath almost. So I think I'm going to actually place the lightest colour first and then I'm going to build the darker colours onto it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to grab a fluffy brush. This is a fluffy blender. Or actually, seeing as it's the lightest colour that we're placing, I might just grab a soft flat brush. Now for the lightest colour, I think I'm going to use this colour here, which is like a cream, because on the photo you can see that it's actually like a light orangey yellow, but we don't have that colour in this palette, so this is going to be my closest option. So I'm just brushing it along under my eyebrow line there. That's just for me to know where everything should go, and then I'll put my eyebrows in later when I'm finished. I usually do my eyebrows after my eyeshadow, and I usually do it like after my foundation and everything, because sometimes I accidentally get foundation in my eyebrows, so I can cover it up with my brow powder later on, if that makes sense. So I'm just brushing this colour, the lightest colour, which if you have this palette, it's called Squidge. I'm just brushing it all over my eyelid and right up to my eyebrow line. Now, of course, before I came on camera, I actually prepped with eye primer. So I just thought I'd mention that. So again, just right along my eyebrow line, and then I'm just going to place it all over the lid, and I'll probably do a couple of layers of this, so just so it looks nice and smooth and soft, and it'll help us blend out everything later on. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with it over here. Yeah, that's better. It was a little bit transparent before, so I'm actually liking the fact that the second layer is giving me that element of softness. It's kind of like a velvety finish, if that makes sense. And this is just my third layer going on now. So I'm happy with that side. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer up a bit more on this side. Because that's what we like to do. Whoops. Okay, that's actually really good. I'm happy with that. Now I'm just going to have a quick look at my reference picture again. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Just had to respond to that message. Now, so I think what we might do, now that we've got our lighter colour, I think we might establish our medium or our next darkest colour. And in this palette, I think it's going to be that really amazing orange there, which is actually called Gummy. Go figure. So I'm just going to grab like a medium to small blender. And what I think I'm going to do, based on that picture, is I'm just going to kind of shape it around my eye socket and then kind of wing it up on the end. Whoops. Getting a bit too overwrought there. Doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to put a couple of layers in, and then I'm going to start blending it up. But what we're also going to do, because as you could see from the photo, the colour continues down onto the eyelid, we're just going to place it on the eyelid as well. So I'm just going to brush it across like this. Actually, I'm just going to, I can't think of the words escaped me. I'm just going to pack the colour onto the eyelid. I got there in the end, you know. Whoops, nearly poked myself in the eye. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to tap off the excess, and now we're just going to start blending upwards. Just softening the top line of where we placed our colour and blending it up towards the eyebrow. I hope you can see, and I hope we haven't got issues with the lighting today, but you know what? It's a pretty clear day, but you never know. So once again, sorry, I just realised I had the palette right in front of the camera, so you would have had no hope of seeing what I was doing, which is a bit silly. So again, I'm just placing it around my eye socket, or in the crease if you like, and then I'm winging it up towards the end. Bit more will be good. I actually love this orange colour. It's really nice. I love bright colours. I love when I get that really good payoff from the eyeshadow. I hate it if I have to put about 25,000 layers and it doesn't look as if I've put any on. There we go, that's pretty good. Now as you can see in comparison, you can see how it looks unblended. I just noticed that. I thought that was quite good to mention. So now we're just blending upwards like we did on the other eye. Just running along that line. Might need a little bit more. And I'm just going to go over this one because I've just noticed on this side it's like actually meeting my eyebrow, whereas on this side it's not. So I'm just going to match that up to the other side. There we go. Now, this time we're going to do our darkest colour. So as I said, it's going to be this brown here down in the corner, which is actually called Tea. Now I'm going to use a small brush to actually place it right in the crease, and then I'm going to blend it up with a blending fluffy blender brush. Obviously, my grip on the English language today has failed me, if that makes sense. Now I've just seen something which may cause a problem later on. Can you see what I see? That darker colour's not really making much of an impact. I'm going to put a third layer on, but then we'll have to have a look at what's going on with that. I think what I might do, I might blend it out as a base, and then I've got a colour here which it's not in the colour profile of what we would want to be putting on in the picture, but I think it's going to be our best option to replicate that look, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So I'm just matching on the other side what I've done over here, just placing that colour and just smoothing it out. Actually, I'm just going to pop a little bit more on the brush and just do this. And I think this is actually going to work quite well, because in a minute I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so bearing in mind, like this is our picture, you can see that that colour in the crease and along here is quite dark. I'm going to actually do something outside of the box, and I'm going to use this, this dark green here. It's actually called Mint, but I just think that it's going to be our best option to achieve that look. So, here goes nothing. That's okay. We might just have to layer it up a few times to get the look that we want, but already there's an improvement. So, you know what? We can live with that. So just packing the colour into that crease there, because later on, when we start doing other things, that will make a difference. Because I don't know whether you noticed or not, but instead of actually cutting the crease on that design, they've just kind of done like an artful line through the actual eyeshadow itself. So we need that colour in there so that we can achieve that look later on, if that makes sense. So I'm just layering more colour into that crease. And this is what we mean sometimes when we say buildable colour, that you can literally just put as much on as you like until you achieve the look that you want. You know what? I'm starting to really like it. And once we get it a little bit blended onto both the lid and up towards the eyebrow, I think it's going to be good. Because once we put that line through the middle, the colour will show on either side of it. So this time I'm actually softening the colour both underneath the line and onto the lid, and also I'm going to do it above in a minute, just so that we've got that effect of that it gets darker as you go towards the crease and then it fades off. You know what, I'm pretty happy with that, but I am thinking as we're blending that green colour, the orange is just starting to fade a little bit too much for my liking. So I think I'm going to put some orange shimmer on the lid in a minute. There we go. I think it'll just add a little bit to the overall look. Now I'm just going back in with my orange just a little bit, just to make sure that everything's blended nicely. Whoops. Our tape's decided that it's going to go for a wander. Now, where did I put that other brush? Oh, here it is. Just smoothing out all the edges so that we've got a nice finish. Now I'm just going to jump off camera and do the other eye, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do that line in the middle, and we're going to place some shimmer shade after that. Okay everyone, so I've just gone away and grabbed a couple of things. So what I've actually grabbed is I've grabbed a white eyeliner pencil. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. No, boo-boo, that's mine. The cat just tried to take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark up where I want the line to go. I've grabbed some liquid concealer because I think that's going to be our best medium to use. And I've just grabbed also, hi Clodie, I've grabbed a angle liner brush. So from what you can see on the photo, we've got that line there where there's like a void area of colour, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to grab my little pencil and my mirror, and I'm just going to mark up where I want it to go. Remember, we want to still be able to see both the orange and the green. On either side of the line. So as you can see, there's like a faint line there. Just going to do the same on the other eye. And you might be able to see this side better because I've noticed that the light's hitting my face better on that side. Okay, so as you can see, there's my little, well, let's call it a guideline, because that's kind of what it is. Now I'm just going to grab my concealer, and I'm just going to put some onto the back of my hand here, just so I can get to it as I'm creating that line. Now, here we go. Here's our angled liner brush. And here goes nothing. You know, I'm giving it a go. Okay. So, I'm just following that line we made before. Like so. Now, I just need to have a look at my picture. So in some areas it's thicker than in others. So it kind of goes like this. Because there's like a void area just there. And then it comes around quite thinly, and then there's another thick area. There. Just gotta check my picture. Yeah. This is actually quite tricky. If you notice, then I just raised my eyebrows because it pulls the skin tighter on my eyelid. And there's not so much drag from the brush. Well, now I will probably have to fix that up a bit later. Like, just make the lines a little bit crisper. What, darling?
Did you open the blinds and close them?
Did I?
No. Yeah.
No. So there we have it. I'm pretty happy with that. She's under my chair, Tegan. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and then we're going to come in and we're going to start with some of our embellishments and stuff like that. Okay everyone, so I've gone and repeated, hopefully, on the other side, and now I'm just going to go ahead and clean everything up, because in some areas there's a little bit of drag. What I mean by drag is that like there's bumps in it where the brush has dragged on the skin. Now, because this is a liquid concealer, we're going to have to set it with some powder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually layer that lightest eyeshadow over the top of it, just to set it, and I'm just going to pat it over the top. Just like that. And then we're going to fix everything up with the darker colours in a minute. Don't worry about it looking like a mess, because makeup's a bit like that. Sometimes everything looks like a real mess and you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? But as you get more and more things on, the look comes together. So just lots of people say this and it does sound a bit corny, but just trust in the process, because you will get there eventually. And if it does stuff up, it's not the end of the world, because what makeup's about is practice and everything is experience, so don't worry about that. I used to get really, really upset when I first started doing makeup, when I made mistakes, but you just keep on going. And practice really does make perfect. I've had some really bad makeup disasters, I can tell you. Now I'm just going to smooth... Ow! I think I just broke my toe. I'm just going to smooth along that line there a little bit. Yep. And so, as you can see, we now have our void area. Now I'm just going to go along next with our green and just make everything nice and crisp, clean lines. And I might actually use that straight brush that I just had a minute ago, which I'll show you in a sec. I'm just pulling the colour along like that. See how it's like a straight flat brush? It's just really good for getting along those lines there. And I'm just slowly re-establishing that dark green along where we placed the concealer. And I'm already starting to get that feeling, you know, like I was saying a minute ago, like trust in the process, because as you get more on there, the look comes together. I can already see it coming together, so I'm pretty happy. So we'll just go ahead and do this side as well, because I feel like you guys can see that side better because the light hits my face a lot better on that side. So you can see how I'm replacing some of the eyeshadow that was lost when we created that void area. Now I'm just going to grab the blending brush and I'm just going to re-soften that now that we've gone back around and placed more colour. You can always put more colour on, but if you put too much, it's very hard to fix it up. All right. So I'm just gently smoothing out like that. And I am going to go back in with the orange in a moment because I just want to lay down some more of that orange eyeshadow to make a base for that shimmer shade that we're going to pop on the lid there, because I just think that will look really nice. I'm actually happy with it. I'm getting happiness vibes, so that's good. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so where's our little orange brush? Come back here, yep. Okay, so I'm just actually going to put it across the middle of the lid like this, such that it just intensifies the colour on that lid, because when we place the shimmer shade, in between the particles of the shimmer shade, you'll still be able to see that orange. So it just makes a really good base underneath. And I'm really liking it. Love that orange colour. It's so intense. I love it. Now, again, just going back over the colour up here. Yeah, that's really good. And I'm not going to go back in with the light colour to blend the orange just yet, because later on when I do my eyebrows and highlight the brow bone and stuff, I'll do it then, because I'll need to blend again, if that makes sense. Now, oh, that's the wrong brush, merrily. This one. So I've just got a fluffy, kind of flattish brush, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this orangey shimmer shade here, which is actually called Dates. So I'm just going to like pull the brush along the colour like that, just to load the brush. And I'm just going to press it over the top of that orange shade, because I don't want to detract from the orange shade, because I really like that. But I just want to give it a little bit of like extra pizzazz, if that makes sense. See what I mean? Like, it's just got that shine. You can still see the orange colour, but it's just, it allows the colour to pop. But I'm not going to put it above the void area, just on the lid, because on that above area we're going to have all our embellishments in a minute. So I don't think it's really necessary to put it up there. And we don't want to detract away from that. Hi, Tegan.
I radio.
Yeah, sure, mate. Go for your life.
I'll just turn it down a bit so you can
Yep, no worries.
hear if you're still here.
No worries. So I'm really happy with that. Now this is the really, really fun part. We're going to put on our embellishments and all of that thing. I've just forgotten one thing that I need to go and grab, which I'll explain to you in a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so what I just left to grab is like a little eyeshadow sponge applicator. I really like to use those to place my glitter glue. And this is actually a stylus from a diamond painting kit. But I just find it really useful because there's kind of like this gum stuff in there. And it's really useful for grabbing hold of the gems when they're really, really small and placing them, because it's really, really hard to place those tiny gems. So once again, we're going to have a look at our picture. So as you can see, there's a large white embellishment just there. And I'm actually going to use these little pearls to replicate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my glitter glue and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit onto the back of my hand so that I can just like access it while I'm doing things, if that makes sense. Now we're going to place the pearl first because it's the biggest. Whoops, my mirror. And it's kind of just in that like dip there. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glitter there. Glitter glue, sorry. And I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds to tack off while I grab my pearls. Now, obviously, there's one on each side. So I'm just going to pop it onto my stylus. So you can just see it sitting on top there. And I'm just going to pop it on top of where I've put the glitter. So you can just see it sitting there. And the other one. Alright, so we've got our pearls placed. Now let's have another look at our picture. So we've got a succession of little white dot type things, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to either do 9 or 11 because odd numbers always look more aesthetically pleasing. Now I've got this glitter here, which is kind of like little round circles. And I'm just going to use some of that to simulate those little circle bits, if that makes sense. Just tip a few onto the lid so I can just like pick through them and grab the ones that I think would be most appropriate. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pat some glue in that area. Now it's a good idea when you're placing this glitter glue not to drag it across, because then you can actually displace your eyeshadow and you don't want to undo all your hard work with your blending and stuff like that. So just pat it along. Alright. Now I'll just pop that down there and I'll just grab a tissue and wipe the rest of the glue off my hand. Now I'm just going to need to grab a little smudger because I use that to place things as well. Actually, I might just, you know what, we'll just go with the stylus. So let me just grab my picture again for reference. Okay, so we're starting down in this area here. Now I'm just going to try and grab quite small ones because as you could see, the pearl in comparison to the size of the other ones is not very big. So we're going to need these to be even smaller. Now I don't know whether you can see that, but see that little tiny white dot? Yeah. So you just kind of place them along. In theory, when the glitter doesn't actually fall off, you do. Struggle is real, everyone. I'm going to tip them out onto the table. Let's just do this, okay? And you just place them along that line. Don't try this at home. Yes, I just licked the brush because I couldn't get the glitter to stay on there. Now, see how we've placed our first one? So we're just going to go ahead and just place them along. Now there's different size ones and different coloured ones, but I'm actually looking for the white ones, which is why I've tipped them out on the table, because it's just easier to see. So we've got 1, 2, and I'm just pressing them on because they're having a tendency to like kind of flip up a bit. Oh my god. Where's my next one? Hope the glue doesn't dry before I get these on. 2, 3. Oh my god, I'm freaking out now. 4, actually. 4, 5. I'm liking it. 6. And I can already see that it's not going to take as many to fill that area. 7. We might just go 8, 9. Just trying to find another one. I might have to tip some more out and then put them back in the container later. Oh my god. 8. Whoops. Stay on there, little piece of glitter. And we'll just do one more at the end, I think, because that will be good. Come on. Where are you? Here it is. Look at that. Just right there. So as you can see, we've got that progression along the top there. Now I'm just going to go ahead off camera and do the rest before this glitter glue dries, and then we're going to come back for the big reveal. Okay guys, so I think I've got my glitter placed. Let's just hope they stay there, because I'm a little bit worried at this point. I'll just give them a little press, because it was a challenge to get them on there. Alright, so now this is my favourite part, because this is where we see all the hard work paying off when you take off this tape. Wow, see that really nice clean line? Oh, there's my piece of glitter that disappeared right there on my cheek. Now let's do this one, because this one you'll be able to see better. Wow, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to end the video there, and I'm going to go and put the rest of my face on. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to post a picture of the finished look, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with another tutorial. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you all next time. Have a great day.